We're going to explain how to configure CLion IDE for the Qt framework. First, make sure you have both CLion and the Qt framework installed. Download CLion from the JetBrains website and install it. Next, download the Qt installer from the official Qt website. Choose the components you need, such as Qt Creator, the Qt libraries you will use in your projects, like Qt Widgets, Qt Quick, etc., and the Qt tools, like QMake. After installation, you need to tell CLion where Qt is located. 1. Open CLion and go to File Settings, or CLion Preferences on macOS. 2. Navigate to Build Execution Deployment CMake. 3. In the CMake settings, you'll see a section for toolchains. If you don't see a toolchain, click on the plus button to add a new one. You may need to select your system's compiler. 4. In the new toolchain settings, ensure that the CMake path is correct. 5. Next, go to Build Execution Deployment Qt. You'll see a Qt section. Click the plus button to add a new Qt version. 6. Click the plus button to add a new Qt configuration, and you'll be prompted to select the Qt installation directory. This is usually something like C Kotsui 5.15, 25, 15.2 MSVC 2017_64, or a similar path depending on your OS and Qt version. CLion will automatically detect the QMake executable and other necessary files within that directory. Select this directory, and CLion will automatically locate the necessary components. 7. Click OK to save the settings. Now you've added Qt to CLion. 8. To create a Qt project in CLion, you can either create a new CMake project and manually add Qt-specific settings to your cmakelist.txt, file. This is a more advanced approach. Or if you want something simpler, use the new project wizard that has Qt project templates, provided you have Qt configured correctly. 9. Once you have a Qt project set up, ensure that CLion's CMake is correctly configured to build the project. You may need to rerun CMake to ensure that CLion recognizes the Qt libraries and correctly builds your application. 10. Build and run your application to verify that your CLion and Qt setup is working correctly. By completing these steps, you can successfully use CLion to create, build, and run Qt applications with ease. Remember to consult the official CLion and Qt documentation for more detailed instructions and troubleshooting tips if you encounter any issues.